In the middle of a small, peaceful ranch in the American West, there's a cow named Daisy, who only knows tender grass, warm sunlight, and the gentle ringing of the bell on her neck. But not far from here, humans are trying to force nature to follow their will. They inject drugs, tweak genes, and accidentally create something no one can control.
This thing doesn't belong here.
And then one night, the boundary between a laboratory and a quiet field is torn apart, and the very first victim is this tiny little cow. Today, we'll follow the journey to rescue Daisy from the fangs of a giant, genetically mutated king cobra. The owner of the ranch is Ethan, a typical man of the American West. His greatest treasure is not his house, but his cattle and this land. Among them, Daisy is the most special. She is the first cow Ethan raised with his own hands, the animal he talks to every morning as if talking to a friend. At the start of a new day, Ethan does the same familiar things. Riding his horse along the fence line, checking the barn, spreading feed, adjusting the little bell around Daisy's neck. To him, that bell is the sound of peace on the ranch. He has no idea that just a few hours later, that same bell will become Daisy's only cry for help in the dark. Dozens of kilometers away from Ethan's ranch, a wildlife research center is chasing a dangerous dream, creating superior creatures by intervening directly in their genes. In that huge glass tank over there are no cows or sheep. Inside is a king cobra, a species already terrifying enough at normal size. Dr. Alan Harris believes that with carefully calculated doses, they can control everything. Just controlled size enhancement, not creating a monster. But nature does not fit neatly into an Excel file. One injection, one wrong calculation, the snake's heart rate spikes, its body swells, its scales stretch and shine, and in just a few minutes, it is no longer a normal creature. The glass tank explodes. The laboratory hallway becomes a tunnel for a giant king cobra to slither through. And when it smashes through the emergency door and slides out into the desert, no one at the center knows where it will go. But we do. It is crawling straight toward Ethan's little ranch, and a cow named Daisy. That afternoon, everything still looks like any other day. Ethan herds the cattle into the barn, locks the bolts carefully, gently pats Daisy's neck and says, "You're safe here, girl." Inside the house, the evening news broadcasts a chilling warning. A genetically modified king cobra has escaped from the research center. Locals are advised to stay indoors at night. Ethan frowns, but then just turns off the TV. To him, bad things always seem to happen somewhere far away, never at his small ranch. Night falls. The wind blows through the wooden fences. Insects chirp in the dark. Daisy stands alone in her stall, the bell on her neck softly ringing with each breath. Then, that sound changes. From gentle chimes to frantic, panicked ringing. Daisy pulls hard against the chain, eyes wide open, staring into the darkness. Outside, just behind the barn wall, a long shadow crawls low along the ground, wrapping itself around the wooden structure. Each plank shudders with the movement of the snake's body. Tonight, the ranch is no longer peaceful. The sound of the bell and a strangled, desperate moo echo loud enough to pierce the window glass and to cut right through Ethan's drowsiness. He grabs his hunting rifle and flashlight, rushes out into the dark yard, only to see a horrifying scene. One side of the barn wall has been smashed apart, the chain yanked loose, Daisy's stall completely empty. Daisy is gone. On the dusty ground, there are two things. Deep drag marks left by an enormous body, and the sound of Daisy's bell echoing faintly from somewhere out in the night. Following the trail, Ethan reaches a shallow, rocky hollow near the ranch. There, he sees a nightmare. Daisy is tightly wrapped in the body of a giant king cobra. Its body is so thick that just one coil would be enough to crush the bones of any animal. On instinct, Ethan fires. The bullet only throws off a few sparks against the thick, armor-like scales. The snake whips around and lunges straight at him. In that split second between life and death, Ethan realizes a simple truth. He cannot win. He backs away, then turns and runs. Not because he's a coward, but because right now, Daisy needs him alive to find another chance. Back at the house, barely able to breathe, Ethan snatches up the phone, his hand shaking as he dials the emergency number.
You to Wildlife Rescue Team.
Ethan's call is forwarded to Sarah, the leader of a wildlife rescue team.
Stay hidden, keep visual
to
if
her,
you can. Do not
Giant
engage
King
the animal.
Cobra is not just a scary name, but a top-level emergency.
He couldn't defeat the monster, but he could still fight to save Daisy.
Experimental Giant King Cobra. Let's move.
In just a few minutes, the specialized truck pulls out of the garage, carrying 3 people: Sarah, the commander, Mike, the tranquilizer marksman, and Luis, the man in charge of the steel cage, ropes, and logistics.
Unit 3 en route. Giant King Cobra on a cattle ranch. Estimated 10 minutes out.
When they arrive at the ranch, it's still dark. Ethan is waiting in the yard, looking exhausted and desperate. He points toward the rocky hollow where Daisy almost lost her life.
What is it? What is it?
What do you see?
Sarah
Mike,
doesn't just
you dart
rush
and
in.
lure.
She
Lewis,
quickly
cage
sketches a
here.
plan on the
Ethan,
ground.
stay with
The
Lewis and
position
help
of the
free
hollow,
Daisy.
the direction the
goes near
snake
the head.
dragged Daisy, the open patch where they can set up a giant steel cage. Then assigns roles. At the rocky hollow, the scene is just as horrifying as it was minutes earlier. Daisy is almost exhausted in the crushing coils. The giant snake rears its head high, ready to strike anything that comes close. From the edge of the rocks, Mike raises his tranquilizer rifle, takes a deep breath, and aims at the thick neck just beneath the hood. A dry thwip cracks the silence of the night. The dart sinks deep into the snake's skin. At the open patch, Luis and the thick ropes are ready. When most of the snake's body has slid inside, Sarah shouts, "Now!"
Hang in there, girl.
Pulse is weak but steady.
Meanwhile, Sarah switches on a powerful handheld floodlight and slowly retreats toward the open field where the giant cage is waiting. The snake, even slowed by the drugs, still follows the beam of light. Its hunting instinct refuses to let go of the target.
Daisy's inside and still breathing. Focus on the snake.
Copy. We're locking it down now. Now!
The snake is trapped, thrashing and slamming its body against the bars until the sedatives finally pull it down. From a moving nightmare, it becomes a huge, motionless mass of muscle behind
Let the
steel.
drugs work.
Thank you. You saved her.
Back in the barn, Daisy is laid onto a thick bed of straw. A fluid bag hung beside her. Her breathing gradually steadies. Her eyes slowly close. Not in death, but because she can finally rest. The ranch has just survived the worst night in its history. Dawn breaks and the first light shines on the giant steel cage in the yard. The genetically mutated King Cobra is now just a specimen, waiting to be taken back to the place where it was created.
Make sure this never happens again.
The snake is lifted onto a specialized truck, chained down, and carried away along the dirt road. But what it leaves behind is more than just a few marks on the field or broken boards on the barn wall. Back on the ranch, Daisy slowly recovers.
She's a fighter.
She's led out to the pasture
She'll
again,
be okay.
the bell on her neck ringing softly in the afternoon sun. To Ethan, she's not just a cow. She is a living reminder that some small things are someone's entire world.
Next time, call us before you shoot.
They called it scientific progress, until it almost killed an innocent life.
They locked the monster away, but the question remains, how far will we go with nature?
And finally, when we look down at this little ranch from above, everything seems to have gone back to normal. The house, the barn, the herd, the golden fields. But if you look closely, you'll see that the people here have learned a costly lesson about playing with the limits of nature.
For Ethan, his whole world is this little cow called Daisy.
Some things don't belong on a ranch or in the wild, but the bond between people and the lives they protect